I welcome you for this video of primitive data types in Java. I am Sadish Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In this video, we're going to see about the primitive data types. First, we see what is data type and what are the primitive data types. Under primitive data types, we have integer data types and floating point data types. So first, what is data type? So if you want to store any value, you need a variable. So variable is used to store a value. In that case, we need the type. What type of data we going to process? That is called a data type. For example, a data can be of a numbers for adding two numbers, or you can process characters, even the Boolean numbers, either true or false. That also can be used. So that is the type. What type we going to process in our programming is known as the data type. In Java, we have the primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are the built-in data types. They are already available, and these are the reserved keywords. These are the reserved words that is already built by the Java. So there are 8 primitive data types in Java, and those are byte, short, int, long, float, double, character and boolean. From that, first 4 byte, short, int, long comes under the integer data type. Float and double comes under the floating point data type. Then the character and boolean. So this is the size occupied by each data type in Java. So byte occupies 1 byte of data, that is 8 bits. Then short occupies 2 bytes of data, and the range also given here. The range for short is minus 32,768 to 32,767. Also the integer takes 4 bytes of data. It takes 2 power 31 is the size, and long takes 8 bytes of data. As similar to int, float takes the 4 bytes, and similar to long, double takes 8 bytes. And these two are used for storing the fractional numbers. And in character, it holds the 2 bytes of data, whereas in C you may know that character holds only 1 byte, but in Java character holds 2 bytes of data, and Boolean it has either true or false, so only 1 bit is enough for storing the Boolean values. So first let me see about the integer data types. So there is 4 data types comes under integer: byte, short, int and long. These 4 are the integer data types. First let me see about byte. So byte is a 8-bit storage, and it is a signed 2's complement integer. You can store minimum of minus 128 to maximum of 127, including that 127. So this is used to save array spaces. If you want to use an array memory, then you can use this byte. So for saving the memory in larger arrays, we can use this byte. Then short is the next to byte. It holds the 16-bit of storage, and it takes the value from minus 32,768 to 32,767. It is also used to save a memory for larger arrays. Third one is the integer. Normally we use integer numbers, so we can go for this type, and it takes minus 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1 values. Up to that you can use this particular type integer, and it is used to represent unsigned 32-bit integer. And long is the fourth one in integer data type. It is a maximum size. If your previous three types are not enough to hold your value, you can go for this long type. It provides the maximum range of 64-bit. The next one is float. So in floating point types, we have the float and double. Float holds the 32-bit data. The fractional numbers can be stored using floating point data type. Here, if you want to save the memory as like the byte and sort, you can use this float data type. But this particular type is not used for representing the currency, the precise values. The second one is the double. It was the maximum size compared to float, that is the 64-bit data can be stored. And for the decimal values, you can go for this double as a default one. You can use default type for double, and then this is also not used to represent the precise values like currency. The next is the Boolean. Boolean is simply used to represent either true or false, 0 or 1. It can be represented with only one bit. That bit stores the value either 0 or 1. And it is used to set a flag. That flag can be of any condition, true condition or false condition, that can be used later in the programming. The next is the char data type. It holds the 2 bytes of memory. That is the 16-bit Unicode character. It has the minimum value of 0 and maximum value of 65,535. And you can store a single characters or array of characters with the help of this char data type in Java. So these are all the primitive data types that are used in Java programming languages. Thank you.